This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.
Hey everybody, it's your old pal Rob here for another GMT Saturday. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Plum Island horror from the great GMT, and of course a really special person, Herman Lutman. I would say he's my friend, but everybody says he's his friend. You know, everybody wants to claim him as their best friend. But I'm not going to do that because I'm just going to tell you this much. I love everything that Herman does. So we're going to go down to the table. I'm not going to explain everything. Actually, I had to reshoot this video because all the sound was gone, and I thought the first one I did was some of my best work, and you can never duplicate that. So I'm going to give you a quick overview of the game, make you kind of understand what is going on. We'll talk more about it on the other side, and let's go down, take a look at the Plum Island horror, because I hate unboxing, so I at least want to explain a little bit of to you so you get a good feel for it. All right, let's go down and check it out. Okay, so I'm not going to explain all the rules, and I actually have to hold this camera while I do this because this board is absolutely enormous. You are going to be trying to stop, not so much stop these horrors, but you're going to be trying to evacuate your civilians. You're going to have all kinds of different civilians. They'll have different types of names and things like that, which is kind of cool. You'll have VIP civilians that you'll deal with that you're going to try to move. Meanwhile, these horrors are going to be moving down this board. Okay, and how they move, well, guess what? You're going to be drawing cards, and it's going to tell you what tracks to initiate. And also there will be ways to spawn them also, and sometimes you get lucky and you get a no spawn, but good luck with that. They're few and far between. And you'll get different things like reanimate, which is going to do different things and double activate certain things. As you can see here, you can move multiple tracks all at one time. These things are going to start off the game moving until they run into human contact. Once they do, they will combat, and of course there's no chance for them to win. The civilians will die, but never fear, folks, never fear. There are NPCs, and there are going to be different factions. Well, I'll show you those cards in a little bit, and we'll talk more about that as they go. And they will combat. You will roll dice to combat the murder horrors, as they call them. And depending on what your either range, because you'll have a range value, or a close combat number is. For instance, we have 2 here for this particular person. So if they were there, they would not be able to get them because they would have to combat them. They would roll 2 dice against it, and as you can see, that's a half heart. So that's half a hit. That ain't going to do anything. That ain't going to remove one of these things. You're going to need 2 halves to hit and remove one. Okay. Combat is simultaneous, though. They will unfortunately do some damage to you depending on where they're at, divided by depending how high the stack is, and divided by depending on the different type of terrain that you are on. Now, the thing here is there's also a critical, which has exploding dice, which is always a cool mechanism. That counts as 1 hit, and oh, well, there you go. We're able to roll, so that would be 3 hits, and that would take, well, there was 3 here. Guess what? You were able to clear that area, saving the civilian. You are going to have a certain amount of actions. We'll talk about that when we look at the player card, but you're trying to stop a couple of things from happening. Number 1, down here, there is overrun, okay? Overrun is, and these have different values. If you ever get 8 overrun, you are going to lose the game. You're going to have different factions that you can use. I was getting ahead of myself. So you have like the Greenport Township. You're going to have the Neighborhood Watch. You have NPCs that you are going to deal with. You have the National Guard. You have security forces, the police. And of course, the horrors have their own special card, which is not good because they have all kinds of different type of special mutations that are just going to cause bedlam, of course, and do nothing good. Each card, though, depending on what faction you play, each person has a special ability that's going to help you out, like the Islander Athletic Club. These guys are going to be able to help you out. You're going to want to get everybody off this island, okay? And you're going to have 9 turns to do it, okay? And we're just going to put that up there to stop from the glare there. You're going to have 9 turns to do it. And hopefully you can get that done. There are going to be 6 day turns and there are going to be 3 night turns. This red number means the numbers of actions that you can take in that particular turn for each faction, okay? So there's a couple of ways that you can lose, and of course only one way to win. You are going to try to evacuate 26 people. If you're able to do that before the end of turn 9, well, guess what? You're going to win the game. But every time you fight, you are going to get infection, and that's going to be thrown into the infection bag. At the end of the turn, you're going to be drawing different types of infection. As you can see, you have your yellow cubes, which are 1. You've got your red cubes that are going to be worth more, and then there are a series of green cubes that start the game off. As you pull those out, your infection track is going to, or biohazard track is going to increase. If you notice that there are the chits there with ×3, ×4, and just gets worse, that means every time that you go to spawn, you are going to spawn that many number onto a place, and you are going to really get overrun and have different types of problems there. Again, it has that tower defense feel, and everything is constantly moving. You're going to be dealing with 3 different cards. Now, if you notice these areas here, they have certain things. There's biohazard, where you can lower the biohazard. You have supplies. Now, on our cards here, and on our characters here, if you notice, they have a foot. They can move. This guy can move 1 space, but by vehicle, he can move 3. That is going to cost you supply. If you're going to range shoot, and as you can see from here, there is range that you are going to be able to shoot. Well, guess what? That's all fine and dandy, but it's going to cost you supply. Every time you run into a night phase on here, you're going to have to use a supply because you got to feed your people. So having balance between supply and being able to utilize your actions depending on what actions you have. As you can see, when you start here, you get 1 action to start off. So you're probably going to just move and try to get people out of the way. Then 2, then 3, 3, 3, 3, and then it kind of, and then if you ever get here and you only got 1 action to use, well, that's not a good thing. You're going to have a number of different actions. There's going to be moving, attacking. There's going to be evacuations, evacuating, and things like that. You are also going to have spots where you can search, particularly here. There's a searcher icon. Once you are going to draw a card, and you are going to possibly get one of those VIP tokens that are going to probably be worth more points, or they're going to have a special ability that is going to help you out. If you ever run into a thing where you pull an event, these events are not good. There's nothing good about events. The way turn structure is done, it is just fantastic, of course, because what you are going to be doing is, depending on how many people you are playing, you are going to put everything into a bag, and you are going to draw out some chits. And in these bags, there are 3 fate chips that are going to cause you to draw a fate thing, which means that you're going to be activating. So every time you pull out these, that's going to be bad. Every time you pull out a black one here, that's going to have you draw an event card. And there are going to be other things in here that you draw fate cards that are going to make you draw an event card, okay, which isn't cool. There are numbers on the bottom which are going to help you, and it's going to help you in certain situations. Some of these bridges are going to be damaged to start off with, and they have a token, which which is right over. No, I thought I had it over here. Here's some of the tokens that I was talking about. But you'll have a thing that says how much damage there is in that particular area. And what you'll do is, well, you're going to have to try to repair it. And you have this really great thing, a repair table, where if you try to use that as an action as a repair, you're going to look at the bottom number here, and that's going to determine a lot. Well, epic fail. That means you didn't repair anything. Or repairs are underway, or you're working overtime, and you were able to repair that route there. Another thing that the fate card number is for is if if they're ever coming, like coming here, and they're trying to move here, you're going to draw a fate number, and boom. For instance, I drew a 5 there, and that means they would go that way. So nice little randomness. You reshuffle these at the beginning of every turn, and boom, you're off and running. You have search cards that are going to help you. You have fate cards that are going to make things worse. And then you have event cards that are going to make things even worse than that, which is a fantastic little thing. The quick reference card is fantastic. Here's all the VIP. You have a bunch of different VIP civilians that you're going to have that can help you out. You are going to break all your range. What's done so well on this is that the quick reference is just really great. And of course, the books here that Herman has brought into this, the reference guide, which has plays a couple turns, and on the back it breaks everything down, all the symbols and everything like that. Remember how I told you that there are different things that are going to happen, your decontamination actions and stuff like that, and certain things that are going to help you. But once you use those, they're going to be non-existent anymore, and you're going to put a token on there that says that you cannot use it again. Also on the back of the rule book which is done so well, big, bold, so you can see things, and really explains everything. Look at this bridge damage, how that happens. There are things that in the beginning of the game you're going to draw a fate number, and you're going to have a bunch of different bridges that are going to be down. This game uses so many different mechanics, and yet the rule book and everything makes this just very easy to learn, even though there is a lot going on. And that's one of the things that I really love about a Herman Luttman game, is that there is a complexity but an ease, and yet a lot of fun. I didn't explain everything to you, but I'll tell you this much: this is just one unbelievable game. Whether you're having problems with overrun, you want to protect that area especially, because it's 6 points of overrun. You don't want to run into that, and you're just going to have all these creatures coming down. You want to try to keep your civilians alive. You want to try to get them out of here and make sure that bridges don't blow up. There's going to be certain areas that are going to do all kinds of different things to help you. You're going to have the power company that's going to help you. And the different factions have different types of abilities that are going to do different things, which makes the replayability of this just unbelievable, as far as a solo game, as far as just an experience, as far as playing multiplayer and playing co-op. There's just a lot of fun in this, and it just is. It's not very easy to win, but it's just at the right complexity where you can have a really great evening with a fantastic game, the Plum Iron Horror. Let's go up top and get my final thoughts. So it's kind of funny. I had to shoot this twice because, and I really liked the job I did the first time, and now I had to reshoot this again because somebody had plugged something or messed with my camera, and there was no sound. And it was very frustrating. So doing this the second time, you never feel you do it very well the second time. There's a couple things that I missed that I wanted to show you, that there were the damage counters that go on the bridges. And there's a lot of little things that I didn't hit on, but I just didn't want to do an unboxing video because everybody does an unboxing video, and it's lazy. It's a laziness, and I don't like it. If you want to know what's inside it, just go buy it. I mean, if you're interested enough, you want to know how this plays. And there is a lot going on in this game. But that is kind of what Herman does, is he has a complexity to things, but he makes it fun. Okay, that very simple word, fun. And it's just always great. The player actions, which I didn't go over, was move, there's combat, there's crowd control. So you're going to be able to move civilians a certain place. and get them out of the way. You can evacuate, which is the main thing that you want to do, is get everybody out there repairing bridges. Some of the units have a heal ability because you can take a certain amount of hits, and that's what the black cubes are for, is that you are going to be placing those, and you're going to be trying to make sure that you don't get your guys wiped out. You are going to lose the game one other way, is that if you, from one faction, like the police department, if they get completely wiped out, well, the game's over. Okay, even though you may have other people out there playing and fighting, once you lose everything. You can trade supplies, you can reposition. There's a lot of little things but do you have the actions to do all of that? And depending on the turn, and that's what makes this so just absolutely fascinating, is the way it plays out, because there are just so many different things that are going on. There's a lot of neat little names, like the Partridge Family and things like that, and little quirky things. I think there was I think there were just a couple of things that really cracked me up with the policemen and things like that, Gomer Pyle and things like that. Really just, again, this really speaks to what Herman is, and what Herman always does with every one of his games is passion. When he puts his heart into something, he makes sure that you feel that theme. And whether it's Gettysburg or At All Cost or whatever, it's never an overcomplicated game. When you think of playing a war game, you think of this great complexity. Well, he doesn't do that, and that's one of the things that I think after a while you really understand. And Herman is somebody that belongs in the Hall of Fame. He has made some of the best games out there. Dawn of the Zeds, the Gettysburg game, At All Costs, and just numerous games. My favorite is the trilogy, the little bag trilogy, with all the aliens, which was fantastic. And it was a nod to 50s sci-fi, and it was just so simple, so fun, and that's what he does, is fun. And I think one of the biggest problems that we run into is we want to, praise all these different designers that sit there and take a political stand or make things so complicated that and just to make themselves feel smart at times, when sometimes less is more. Okay? There can be complexity, but can somebody look at that book and learn it and play it? Yeah, some of these games that are complex and full of different twists and turns and stuff, things like that are really great and fun. Certain dungeon crawlers, you gotta you have better take a an English class to make sure that you can get through some of the rule books. But the Mona Lisa is beautiful. The Sixtine Chapel is they're both masterpieces, and people with that kind of complexity make those type of things. But there are times that sometimes the simplest of paintings move you just as much as those incredible works of art. And that is, I think, where Herman is so strong, is that he can make something that you will just look at and you go, wow, this isn't overly complicated. Maybe I could have figured that out. No, you can't. I can't, definitely. But is it as complicated as some of these intricate games? No. But they both have something in common. Okay? They move people, and they are beautiful. Okay? And that's the same thing with the paintings. What will move you at that moment? You can go down to someplace and pay $10 for a painting instead of paying $1,000. They might both move you the same way. That is how I look at Herman's designs. Okay, they are just made to have that very easy word to spell, F-U-N. Fun. It's just fun, and an ease of learning. And for that brings more people into this hobby. And Herman should be in the Hall of Fame, because I'm telling you, he has just a knack and a resume that is just incredible of the beautiful projects that he has done. And it's just, along with him and Richard Launius, who are not in the Hall of Fame, they belong there. They belong there for all the joy and beauty that they have brought in, like this unbelievable work. And then what can you say about GMT and the unbelievable quality that they produce all the time? You put these two fantastic giants together and you get this, the Plum Island Horror. So I really suggest you check it out. Go pick it up. Go take a look at Miniature Market. Go to GMT. Get it before it runs out and you have to wait for a reprint, because you're going to be very, very, very disappointed if you don't get your hands on this, because boy, we're starting off 2024 with a bang with this fantastic, great experience, and this is just one that you have to have in your collection. The Plum Island Horror, a fantastic masterpiece. I highly, highly suggest it. Until next time, it's your old pal Rob. We'll see you soon. Hopefully we can get this to the table at some point and maybe do it live. But I got a feeling it'll go over pretty quick, because I'll get slaughtered because it's that good. All right, until next time, we'll see you soon, everybody.